Let's be honest. If you're watching this, there's someone you can't stop thinking about. You've tried to move on, you've told yourself you're over it, but every time you scroll through your phone, you still wonder, do they ever think about me? Maybe they left suddenly. Maybe they pulled away without an explanation. And now it feels like they've forgotten you completely, while you're stuck replaying memories that don't let you breathe. But here's the twist. You don't need to text them. You don't need to beg for attention or post things just to get noticed. Because if you want to make your ex miss you, you don't do it with words. You do it with silence. And today, I'll show you exactly why silence, when done right, can make them think about you more than any message ever could.
1. Why silence works when nothing else does. After a breakup, most people panic. They chase, they explain, they overtext. They think, if I can just remind them how good we were, maybe they'll change their mind. But here's what really happens. The more you chase, the less they value your presence. Why? Because chasing signals neediness, not confidence. And nothing makes someone pull away faster than the feeling that you can't function without them. Silence flips the script completely. It communicates something far more powerful than words. I respect myself enough to walk away when I'm not valued. That energy, quiet, calm, grounded, is magnetic. It makes people wonder how you're doing, why you stopped reaching out, and whether you've moved on. You stop being predictable. You stop being available. You become a mystery again, and mystery reignites curiosity.
2. They notice the absence before they miss you. When you're always available, you blend into their routine. They stop noticing your presence because they expect it. But the second you go silent, you break that pattern. They start noticing the empty space where you used to be, the messages that don't come anymore, the comfort that's suddenly missing. That's when missing you begins. It doesn't start the day you leave. It starts the day you realize you're not coming back the same way. People don't miss what's gone. They miss what's rare. And your silence makes you rare again.
3. What happens in their mind when you go quiet? At first, they'll think you're fine. They'll assume you're still waiting. They'll test you, maybe post something to see if you'll react. But when you don't, something shifts. They start asking questions. Why haven't they texted? Did they move on already? Are they seeing someone else? And that's when the emotional imbalance begins. Because the person who used to feel in control starts feeling uncertain. You've changed the energy dynamic completely. Now they're the one overthinking while you stay quiet, composed, and unavailable.
4. Silence isn't ignoring, it's healing. Going silent doesn't mean you're pretending not to care. It means you're choosing not to give your energy to someone who didn't value it. Use that silence to rebuild yourself. Start working out, traveling, learning, creating, evolving. Because silence hits harder when it's backed by growth. They'll check your social media expecting sadness, but instead, they'll see confidence. They'll see peace. And nothing makes an ex more curious than your glow-up. Silence is powerful, but silence combined with progress is unstoppable. You've changed the energy dynamic completely. Now they're the one overthinking, while you stay quiet, composed, and unavailable.
5. The emotional mirror effect. Here's the part no one talks about. When you go silent, you create emotional distance, and that distance becomes a mirror. At first, they see relief, freedom, but then they start to see their reflection, the regret, the guilt, the confusion. Because silence makes people confront their choices. They start remembering the good things, the jokes, the talks, the safety they felt around you. The same peace they once took for granted starts to feel like something they'll never find again.
You've changed the energy dynamic completely. Now they're the one overthinking, while you stay quiet, composed, and unavailable.
6. The phases they go through. Let's break it down clearly. Phase 1, relief. They feel free, thinking the breakup was the right choice. Phase 2, curiosity. They notice your silence and start wondering why you haven't reached out. Phase 3, confusion. They check your social media, expecting sadness, but see growth instead. Phase 4, regret. They start missing the energy you brought into their life. Phase 5, contact. A text appears. Hey, have you been? This is when silence has done its job. It's flipped the emotional equation. They're now the one thinking about you. 7. When they finally reach out. When that message comes, and it usually does, don't rush to reply. Don't reward inconsistency with instant access. Pause. Think. Ask yourself, do I really want this person back, or do I just miss how they made me feel? Because by this point, you're not the same person. You've grown in the silence. You've learned to enjoy your own company. If they've truly changed, they'll prove it. If they haven't, they'll fade away again. Either way, your peace stays intact. 8. When silence doesn't bring them back. Not every story ends with reconciliation, and that's okay. Sometimes silence isn't about making them miss you. It's about giving yourself space to see things clearly. You'll realize that if someone truly loved you, you wouldn't have to fight so hard to be seen. And when that realization hits, the pain starts to fade. The silence you once hated becomes your new comfort zone. Because peace, once you taste it, is addictive. 9. The real reason they miss you later. Months down the line, something strange happens. They'll see your photo, your success, your happiness, and it'll hit them. They didn't just lose someone who cared. They lost someone who would have done anything for them. And by then, you're different. You're not trying to get them back. You're not hoping for closure. You're not looking back at all. And that's when people really miss you, when they realize your silence wasn't an act of pride, but an act of self-respect. 10. The lesson silence teaches.
Silence teaches you what noise never can. It shows you who checks on you when you stop checking on them, who reaches out when you stop trying, who values you when you stop proving your worth. You learn that you never had to beg to be chosen. You just had to stop showing up for people who never deserved your presence. And once you understand that, you stop chasing love and start attracting it effortlessly, because self-respect is the loudest energy in the room. 11. The final message. You don't need to block them. You don't need to post quotes or revenge pictures. You just need to disappear with peace. Let them wonder. Let them scroll. Let them miss the version of you that no longer exists. Because one day, they'll realize your silence wasn't rejection. It was closure. And by that time, you'll be too focused on your future to even notice they're watching. You don't make someone miss you by speaking louder. You make them miss you by walking away quietly. Silence doesn't mean you've lost. It means you finally learned your worth. And when you do, you become unforgettable without saying a single word.